Alright, so first shots with the M&P 4.25 full size 2.0. Let's see how it goes. Cool. You tell I haven't been in the range enough lately. So it is really freaking cold out here, so I'll use that as my excuse.
Oh, brother.
The recoil pulse is super nice, just based on the first shots right there. Tracking the sight is crazy fast, a lot faster than a lot of the guns I've shot in the past. First thing I noticed when picking this gun up though is that grip texture is super aggressive. Honestly, probably the most aggressive grip texture we've had on the channel so far, in my opinion. Maybe right next to the staccato, honestly. This one might be a little more actually, because if you can see right here, it actually wants to scrape away some skin just from like holding it there. As far as the carry gun, I'm kind of masochist. I actually really like that. Other people probably won't like how aggressive this grip texture actually is. I do wish the grip texture went a little bit higher, just barely a little bit, honestly. There's just like maybe a finger weld right here on both sides that it can be covered up a little more grip texture. But otherwise, I think the placement for grip texture on everything on this is perfect. Literally have nothing bad to say about the grip texture at all. The fact if you're a little feminine, then you might not like the grip texture, how aggressive it is. The serrations, I think based on first impression as well, they're good, but they're not like great. And we've definitely had better ones on the channel so far. I know that for the shield we've done in the past as well, they literally had these little ones on the bottom, that's it. I know that a lot of other M&Ps as well don't have the full front serrations, but this one does, so full marks there. Side release, easy reach, magazine release, easy. Trigger was exceptional, I think. Probably compared to like the Walther that we've actually done in the past, this is probably on par with that. But I think this actually has a cleaner break and probably less take up, in my opinion. This is actually their newer M&P trigger, and I think they did a really good job with this. It's technically their flat, kind of flat face one. If you count that as flat, it's a little bit curved in my opinion. But honestly, when you're shooting it, you can't really tell the difference.
All right, so let's try this for myself as a Glock shooter. Yeah, control the recoil. How much I got left? Dang, that's actually really pleasant to shoot. I don't know why I have a Glock in the first place though. Like, shit, I should have just bought this first. No, I'm just kidding. Grip texture right off the bat, super good. I have XC. It has their, I think, tack grip on there, and this is easily as aggressive as that.
Hold up, that shoots hotter than your Glock 47? That's a 4.25.
I don't know what M&P are doing, but I think they're actually innovating while Glock. I don't know. Maybe.
I'm keeping in the video, but damn.
Maybe. Very nice trigger, easy to predict, very easy to find the wall. Yeah, I like it.
Alrighty. M&P mag, what is this? Oh, that feels good. That slide release, pretty thick. Alright, cool. That is awesome. I really like how soft the trigger feels. Sorry, how light the trigger feels. I thought I had a little issue with the bladed safety trigger, but honestly, as long as you touch anywhere on this safety part, you're able to defeat the safety and then press the shot off. The grip texture is super aggressive. It's very cold outside right now. I think I would carry this 100% in the winter. And also, if you have wet hands, I don't see any reason why this would slip in your hands. I know the first couple shots, I was just trying to feel like not putting any muscle into it, and you kind of just like letting it rest to see how high the muzzle flip would go. And then once what?
Stop the cap.
And the slide serrations, I wish they were a little bit deeper. I know they're pretty cool. They're like kind of a dragon scale, fish scale. But what I do like about this gun is gonna be the slide release. Look how thick that is on one side and the other side also. So far, so good though.
So quick rundown of the specs of the 4.25 full-size M&P 2.0. The width of the gun is gonna be 1.16 inches. The length is gonna be 7.4 inches, while the height is gonna be 5.7 inches. The weight comes in at 29 ounces unloaded. The barrel length obviously is gonna be 4.25 inch for this model. Is a stainless steel barrel. Coating on the side is actually going to be black armonite. They also make an FDE model if you're interested in that. So we have the black model here today. 2 17-round capacity magazines, and the MSRP is $679. As far as the grip here for the frame, first starting off with the pick rail, it has a full pick rail here, so you can swap on any full-size, medium, or even to the subcompact lights like the TR7 if you wanted to. The grip texture is crazy aggressive. As I talked about before, this is probably the most aggressive grip texture. I say texture.
Yeah, you did say thick texture.
Oh my God, that's wild. The typical M&P fashion, they have like this wave pattern. So all throughout the grip itself, it's literally all the way around it. Grip texture itself is crazy aggressive, as I said before. Probably the most aggressive grip texture we've had on the channel so far. You can see here that we have some like skin like being rubbed off. That's how aggressive this grip texture is. So if a lot of you guys out there like us that usually want to stipple your grip, probably don't need to do it with this one, honestly. This one's actually super aggressive. One point I do want to talk about is that I wish the grip texture was just a little bit higher. Now, it's not that big a difference. I do know that they want a slot for your finger to go on. That way you're not scraping your finger finger all the time. But I mean, it's on both sides. I know this is a fully ambidextrous gun for the most part. I do wish it went just a little bit higher for our support hand on here for more of the right hand shooters. That's more of a preference thing, but I just want to mention it. Back straps, there comes 4 different sizes. There's going to be small, medium, large, and a large. The one we have on here right now is the medium. I do really like how M&P actually gives you multiple different ones, including the medium large. A lot of times you don't see back strap options for medium large because a lot of guys are kind of like right in that middle area. And the grip here actually has a single undercut right here for one finger. There are some firearms out there that actually do a double undercut. This one just has a single. The trigger guard itself is also slightly enlarged. That way it helps you fit gloves in there. Definitely not as large as other firearms we've had in the past, but I think this is a very pretty good healthy medium, if you want to say it that way. Moving down here to the flared maglet area, you'll see it has a little thing here that actually holds the back strap in place. You literally twist that off, comes out as like a tool to get the back strap off. This is a full-size firearm, and unfortunately it does not have a flared magwell. I believe all full-size firearms, especially pushed towards duty for full-size it is, I think they should come with a flared magwell. Unfortunately, MP does not. Grip angle does follow a 1911-2011 grip angle, so I do love that, especially having that natural point of aim for majority of us out there. Now, as far as that look intrusion here on the back, if you fit a magazine in there, it does sit pretty flush, so you don't actually have to worry about that for the majority of the time, as long as you're using a flush magazines. They do also have extended ones. Unfortunately, this one only comes with the 2 17-round flush mags. Damn! So you stacked those around? Yeah. Holy shit. 1439. Keyhole those two right there.
Starting with the sights, the irons have white on the rear and then also white on the front, which all of us on the channel, we really don't like that type of stuff because it makes it really hard to focus on the front sight. But we're not cool enough. The law enforcement one actually comes with blacked out rears and a front night sight. I'm not sure you can get that unless you're a law enforcement officer. But if you go to your local gun store, you're most likely going to get the ones with the white rears instead. And last thing to note about the iron sights, they are optic height, so they are able to co-witness through your red dot in case you forgot to change your red dot battery or your optic just fails. But if you're not a boomer and you got with the times, you're probably going to be running a red dot on your pistol. For the red dot, we have the Gideon Omega that's mounted on top of the Calculate Connects dog tag, which is their adapter plate for the M&P 2.0. So shout out to them. They actually sent out this dog tag to us free of charge. So when you pick up your M&P 2.0, they actually give you a multitude of optic plates, which are all plastic. That's important because within our first range day, which we took this out prior to this video to get zeroed, the lugs sheared off on us on the first magazine, so that didn't last very long. But your miles may vary. We know some shooters out there who have been running the plastic OEM plate from the factory and they've had no issues so far, but keep that in mind. They are plastic adapter plates and they may be prone to breaking.
Hey, you see that Fosburger? He's like,
what?
Oh, you heard that? Yeah. He's like,
Yeah, there you go. No.
Next we have the trigger, which I believe is one of the best triggers you can get out of the box without modifying it. Trigger is a safety blade trigger. It does claim to be flat face. I guess if you think about flat face compared to the previous M&P, it is more flat, but it still kind of has a curved nature to it. So I'll go ahead and put my finger on the trigger here, take up some of the pre-travel, kind of at the wall. There is some creep, and then break. And then I'll go ahead and show you the reset here. Relatively short to allow for easier and faster follow-up shots. As for the trigger weight, Smith Wesson doesn't list their official pull weight, but from our understanding and based on other pistols we reviewed in the past that actually do list their trigger weight, like we have a Staccato P that's listed at 4.5 pounds, and this feels just like that.
I know this guy.
Whoa! There you go. Shoot that sucker more! For the serrations, they are going to be mildly deep. There are 6 cuts in the front. There are going to be 7 in the back, and they're going to be more kind of like a scale texture. Going to be pretty easy to rack. They also have serrations here at the bottom of your slide too. So there's 2 different points to be able to grab the slide with your thumb. Next, moving down, this gun is going to be almost fully ambidextrous for you lefties out there. It does have a slide release here on the right side and a slide release here on the left side, which is pretty cool. Other thing that doesn't make it fully ambidextrous is going to be this mag release. You're able to push it here on the left side, but it's not a button here on the right side, but you are able to interchange them both as they are the same shape. You just need to be able to flip this onto that side and it'll be a left-sided gun, or left-handed gun, I would say. So moving back up to the slide release here, one thing I want to say is that I love how much of a ledge there is. It is sticking out and protruding really far for these really fast reloads that you can have. So if the if the slide release is up, you're able to hit it pretty quick with the tip of your thumb here, which I do love about it. And then moving up here, we do have a optic plate. It does come with a round indicator. There's supposed to be a little cut here, but our plate is actually covering it. I just want to talk about that there is a round indicator here at the top of the slides.
This test isn't the most realistic, but we're gonna do an accuracy test at 50 yards on a C-zone steel, just to kind of show what the pistol's capable of, and maybe how easy it is for the shooter to be able to reach these type of distances. So I'll go ahead and whiff my shots here at 50 yards-ish. One more shot, one-handed. Okay, so that was pretty easy to do. I think I whiffed like 3 or 4 shots in a row. A little greedy. I thought I could keep pushing faster, but as you can see there, it was actually relatively easy to put those shots out at 50 yards on a C-zone steel, and I just did it one-handed. Granted, you gave me like 10 seconds to prepare first. As for my thoughts so far, I think the M&P 2.0 4.25 is a pretty solid performer. I'm really excited to get more rounds through this and be able to provide more clarity on my thoughts, but so far so good. Really good grip, texture, the way it shoots, basically the overall dynamics of the gun. I like it, and then I've had no issues with the side controls, side release, all that stuff, pretty easy. Yeah, I'll see what the other guys think.
So for my final thoughts, I honestly think the M&P shoots very well right out of the box. We literally just threw an optic on and it shot very well. The grip texture really feels good in your hands. I do like it. The only thing that I just have a little gripe about is the slide serrations. It's kind of similar to the M&P Shield here, with just having more of a design and not actually aggressive serrations here in the front. That's just kind of my one nitpicky thing, but other than that, gun shoots phenomenal, easy to grab, feels really natural when presenting. Yeah, really excited to put more rounds through this.
As for my final thoughts, I think this is very solid right out of the box. Grip texture is probably one thing you probably don't really need to touch when it comes to this gun at all. Trigger is really good as well. Like Zach said, I think the one thing that I had an issue with probably serrations. We have been running out here a couple hundred rounds already, and we haven't had any issues with it just yet, but you'll probably find out in our final thoughts if we actually ran into issues with the serrations at all. You definitely tell why a lot of high-level competitive shooters actually gravitate towards the M&P 2.0. Actually, me myself, I actually bought this. This is actually my gun, and I'm going to be competing with it more often. But so far, only a couple hundred rounds in, this is a very solid. Really happy with my purchase.